We met Margaret for the first time a few months ago when she introduced us to the uncertain future she faces. Her slowly worsening eyesight means she'll at some point have to stop driving.
I'm going to be 80 in 2 months' time, amazingly, and I have quite a major sight problem. I've loved driving all my life, driven some fantastic cars, but I know that my driving time is limited. I had an eye test a week ago, and amazingly, my eyesight has plateaued. The optician told me that my sight will never improve and it will get worse, but at the moment my eyesight is stable, but it is important, and I've already made my July appointment. So 2 things have happened since I spoke to you last. DVLA are aware, they are being kept informed, they are happy that my optician says I'm still safe to drive, but I must have my eyes inspected every 6 months, and at some stage I will not be able to drive.
So is the prospect of no longer being able to drive something Margaret will deal with when the optician delivers the bad news, or is she planning now for that time and working out other ways of staying mobile?
I was perhaps expecting that last week I may not be able to drive anymore. The question that came to my mind was, how do I get home? My car's in the car park. But I now have until July, and I am very much focused on ensuring I retain my independence, which I very much enjoy. I retain the privilege of being involved in a number of volunteer organisations, and I love my garden. So I'm making sure that all the things that mean such an important part to me as a person will continue, even though at some stage, and it could be July, I will have to be carless.
Carless sounds negative. So is there a more positive way of defining the transition Margaret may soon face?
I'm looking at it as a different stage in my life. Not a negative thing at all. I am not a negative person, and there are always challenges in life all the way through our lives, and we just never know what's around the corner, any of us. Interestingly, COVID has helped me. First of all, in the first lockdown, I wrote my book. That was a great sort of reminder to me of all the opportunities, privileges and exciting learning experiences I've had in my life that I wanted to share. But also, my daughter showed me how to order groceries online. I'm now very able to order through various scenarios online, anything at all. As my daughter said to me, "Mum, you can buy anything online." So that has given me a lot of confidence. It doesn't particularly help because I've got a hand tremor, so I have to be particularly careful when I'm actually accessing email logins and everything else to make sure I'm doing it correctly. But hey, I have. And although I've only had 1 delivery, because at the moment I prefer to go to the supermarket and choose my own fruit, thank you very much, I know that everything can carry on if I can't get to a supermarket.
What driving risks is Margaret aware of, and how does she set out to reduce them?
One of the concerns I was aware of my eye condition is that bright sunlight affects it and will damage it further and more quickly. I have become very aware that on a very clear, cloudless, blue sky day, the sunshine is particularly bright. And through nothing other than the fact that the road turns in that direction, sometimes you are faced with a glaring bright light. So if I can, I avoid using my car on those days. And one of my two sons has insisted that I only drive at night because of the glaring headlights, if it's absolutely essential. So yes, I'm preferentially choosing when it is, I know, safer for me to drive.
Margaret appears very calm when talking about her driving. Is this reflected in her behaviour on the road, where tempers fray all too soon and there's often a lack of consideration between drivers?
I am very aware, after being next in line quite a long time ago now to a fatal road accident, that a car is a weapon. I think I am fortunate that my very emotional makeup makes me both very vigilant, but it also makes me very patient. And I never lose my rag, even though I see many very difficult, questionable things and behaviours on the road.
Looking ahead towards the next optician visit, what are Margaret's priorities now?
To examine, in the very broadest sense, being carless, because July may be the decision time. There is a local organisation which can help me with ideas, with thoughts. I'm already preparing my mind to make sure my days are full of useful and productive things that will keep my mind active and allow me to make a contribution. But there is still a point, for example, the day before yesterday, I had to have an MRI scan for the first time in my life. So I know that physically, I am going to actually have to accept some advice and support too. So it is concentrating on the knowledge it is going to happen, but to accept it and to make sure that my life will continue and I can still play a part in this community which I love.